So we will start in a standing position. And if you like, just for that easy transition of your mat or your space, if you like to, if that makes your practice a little bit more, whatever, leave your TheraBand or your yoga strap or your towel just kind of towards the front end of your mat. And then we'll just start in a standing position at the front of the mat. So just to start, find a nice even stance. Take a second. If it feels okay to do so, close your eyes down and just tune in down to your feet. Notice your feet connected to your floor. Maybe get a sense of that solidness underneath you. And then if you're standing on a yoga mat or a carpet, or if you have your socks on, take a second and just kind of wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet, and then feel the texture that your feet feel. So notice if you feel the texture of your mat or the texture of your carpet, or if you're wearing socks, notice the texture of the fabric of your socks. And then kind of get a sense of how do your feet feel. And then once you've got a sense of how your feet feel nice and grounded, soften your toes down, let everything come to stillness. And then soften the knees, soften the hips, soften your arms, eyes closed or just a soft gaze. Just take a moment, take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then if it feels good to do so, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take another nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then as we come a little deeper into the breath, think about filling up the lungs. So think bottom of the lungs, middle of the lungs, top of the lungs. And then as you exhale, let all of that air go. And then just for a little bit of awareness, I'm going to change my cue just a little bit. So think deep inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up to the collarbones. And then as you exhale, can you exhale from your collarbones to your ribs to your belly? Nice full breath in, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the collarbones. And then as you exhale from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. And then we're going to add on to that a little bit. So inhale, belly to the ribs to the collarbones. And then as you fill up, pause at the top, hold or retain your breath for a moment. And then when you're ready, exhale from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Inhale a nice full breath, breathing to the belly, to the ribs, to the collarbones. Hold your breath at the top. Exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. And now we're going to add on one more time. So inhale, fill up the belly to the ribs, to the collarbones. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. And then once all of that air is gone, hold that retained exhale for a moment. And then without having to gasp for air, just take a nice full breath. Fill up the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. Hold your breath at the top. And then when you feel ready, exhale from the collarbones to the ribs, to the belly. Once all of that air is gone, hold that exhale for a moment. And then when you're ready, inhale belly to the ribs, to the collarbones. Hold that breath at the top. And then when you feel ready, exhale from the collarbones to the ribs, to the belly. Once all of that air is gone, retain the exhale for a moment. And then start to let your breath come back to a natural rhythm. Take a nice, gentle breath. Soften your shoulders. Sometimes focusing on the breath can bring in a little tension to the shoulders of the upper body. So see if you can just kind of wriggle out your shoulders, soften everything up. Take one more moment here, just noticing your breath. And then before we move away from this place, set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Nice. And then with that intention set, finding a nice even stance. Let your hands come down at your sides. And then what we did on Tuesday, and we're going to bring it into our practice tonight as well, we're going to add a little bit of little shake into our body. So start by just kind of shaking your arms, as Audra says, let you get little noodle arms, and then maybe let that vibration and shake come up into your shoulders, come up into your chest. And then let all of that come to stillness. And now we're going to pick up the right foot, give the right leg a good solid shake. Set that foot down, put your right foot on the ground, pick your left foot up and give it a good solid shake. Nice. And then with both feet on the ground, we're going to get the whole body involved. So you're going to start to bounce your heels, and then let that bit of vibration or movement or bounce come into your whole body. So let your arms be nice and loose. So you're going to feel a little bit of shaking your arms, shaking your fingers. You might notice it in your breath and in your chest. You might notice any little places where you got a little extra adipose tissue that might be a little good and shaky there too. So take another nice good bounce. And then when you feel ready, let everything come to stillness. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. And then if you're in that wider stance, maybe take a second to walk your feet in so they're about hip or shoulder distance apart. And then inhale, arms are going to reach up and overhead, look to the sky. And as you exhale, just bring your hands right to heart center, hands down at your sides. And we're just kind of connecting that breath and movement. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your side, and then right hand's going to stay down. Left hand's going to reach up alongside your ear. Take a side bend, lean over to the right. Take a nice full breath in and just notice the left side of your body. Notice your ribs. Fill up with air. Soften with your exhale. And then lift up gently. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Lean over to the left. Take a nice full breath in. Feel that stretch through the right side body. Soften a little bit with your exhale. And then on your next inhale, lift up with control, both hands down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, we're going to bend the knees, hinge from the waist, fold down towards the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Then we're going to keep that bit of length in the spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Interlace your fingers here. Flip the palms, press the palms forward, glide the shoulders down. Pause here for a moment. And then if it feels okay to do so, close your eyes down or just focus or tune in down to your hands, down to your palms. Nice. And then relax your elbows just a little bit. And then we're going to lift the arms up and overhead. Create a little space so the arms can come up. And then once you've got your shoulder blades in a nice place, press the palms up towards the ceiling and then let your awareness come back to your hands. Notice your fingers, notice your palms. Beautiful. And then unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that half forward fold position, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Now we're going to interlace the fingers, but this time do it the weird way. So switch the cross in your fingers, flip the palms, press them forward, glide your shoulders down. Pause there for a second. Notice your hands, notice your fingers. Awesome. And then soften your elbows, create some space, lift your arms up and overhead. And then once you've got your shoulders in a nice position, push your palms up towards the ceiling if it feels good to do so. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, unlace your fingers, float your arms down, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Find your mountain pose again. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. And then if you left your strap or your towel at the front end of your mat, pick it up, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. And then we're going to find a nice wide position of our arms. So we're going to keep the strap in front of us, palms facing backwards, but with arms kind of a little bit wide out from the side body. And then once you've got that, you're just going to lift your arms up and overhead, soft hold of the strap, and then bring your arms right back down, hands alongside the hips. Nice. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And now take a firmer grip. Take a gentle side bend one way. Come back up to center. Take a gentle side bend the other way. Come back up to center. Float your arms down. And now we're going to flip or take that strap behind you. So we're going to pass it behind. Get a handhold. And again, you want to keep that nice wide position with the arms. And then we're going to just take a couple of good pumps to the arms. So think about bringing the strap down towards your bum and then pushing the arms away from you, just to create a little bit of space in the shoulders. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. And then we're going to flip that strap back around. So bring it back in front of you, but now we're going to take it even wider. So really a nice wide position with your strap, whatever you're holding on to. If you're using a hand towel, out to the outer ends of your hand towel, and then see if you can reach it up and overhead and then circle it all the way around. Can you make some space? If circling it all the way around is not for your shoulders, you're just going to go up overhead and then right back down. But if it feels okay to circle all around, come back forward, and then we'll do that 2 more times, but you're going to go in the range of motion that's safe for your shoulders. And we all might have subtle variations there. One more time through. Beautiful. And then if you can bring that strap behind you again, now we're going to take it into a little bit of a fold. So bring it behind you so that you have a comfortable position, that your arms kind of move freely away from the back of the body, and then soften your arms, soften your knees, hinge from your waist. You're going to fold over, and then with a sort of pulling apart sensation on your strap, you're going to let the arms fall away from the back of your body. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath here if you can stand it. Beautiful. And then let your hands come towards your low back. Bend your knees. Lift from the top of your head. Come up nice and slow. Set your strap down off to the side, and then give everything a little wiggle. Shimmy out your shoulders. Make sure everything feels good. And then see if you can find that mountain pose again at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to that half forward fold. And now we're going to find our way down into a tabletop position. So if you can, hands down to the ground, step one knee down and then the other. Take a second as you come into your tabletop position to just find that ground and make sure your knees feel comfortable. So if you need to cushion your knees or double stack your mat, take a second to do it. And then if you're feeling good, move right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round. Take a few more cycles of breath and just move at a pace and a rhythm that feels good to you. If you've got anything going on with the spine or osteopenia, osteoporosis, better to make it a smaller movement and more think about lengthening through the spine rather than this big fluid movement through the spine. So if you've got any of that stuff going on, think about more reaching through the crown of your head, reaching through the tailbone, and imagine that you're creating space through the spine rather than movement through the spine. Take 1 or 2 more cycles of breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to move right into puppy pose. So we're going to keep our hips in line with the knees, walk your hands forward to the top edge of your mat, let your chest and your forehead melt down, and take 3 nice deep breaths here. When you feel ready, slowly and gently slide the hands in just a little bit. We're going to come down onto our belly. So if you like, slide your hands in like you were coming back to a Sphinx pose, and then step your feet back gently towards the end of your mat and then lower yourself down with control. Once you've got your way here, we're going to walk the elbows out a little bit wide and come into what is typically called crocodile pose. So we're going to step our feet a little bit wider towards the outer corners of the mat, and then stack your hands. So one hand on top of the other, and just let your forehead rest. So once you've got your way here, take a second and let everything chill out. Relax your glute muscles, relax the backs of your thighs. And then see, once you found that sort of sense of chilling out a little bit, your butt's not clenched up, the backs of your legs are kind of soft. Now can you tune in and notice your belly connected to the floor? You might notice a little bit of compression of your belly as you breathe in. And then see if you can invite a little softness into the backs of the ribs and the shoulders as you exhale. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift your head away from your hands, step your feet in a little closer to each other so feet are about hip distance apart, and then slide your hands back so that the hands are alongside the shoulders and your elbows are kind of hugging in at the ribs. We're going to take 3 low cobras here. You're going to move with your spine in a way that feels right to you. Inhale, lift your heart up just as high as feels good. Exhale and lower back down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. And then push your way up to a tabletop, and we're going to come all the way back to child's pose. So your version of child pose that you like best. If you like the knees together, toes together, that's a little bit more supportive to the low back, and it gives your belly and your chest something to rest on. If you prefer a little bit more space for the belly and the chest, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat, and pull your butt back toward your heels. So whichever version you personally prefer, take a second to find it, and then see if you can invite some softness in. Soften your arms, soften your hands. Take 2 more breaths here. And then when you feel ready, start to lift yourself back up to a tabletop position. If your knees were out wide, maybe walk them back in. We're going to slide the right leg back with the toes curled under and just take a few gentle rocks forward and back. Just create a little space in the back of the leg and a little gentle stretch to the toes, to the Achilles heel and the calf. Beautiful. One more time, forward and back. And then when you feel ready, slide that right leg in, switch to the other side. Left leg slides back, toes curled under, rock yourself forward and back. Beautiful. One more time, forward and back. And then slide that leg in, and we're going to just spin the legs around. So swing yourself around so that you're sitting back on your butt, and we're going to take it into a nice little wide leg stretch. So just stepping your feet out to a nice, comfortable distance. So it doesn't have to be like going to the Olympics. You don't need to do the splits, but just find a nice wide position. And then we're going to actively pull the pinky toes back. So we want to keep the inner thighs slightly active. Bring your hands to the ground and just take a moment to notice. So just notice that sort of active position of the toes drawing back. Take a nice big breath. And then keeping that active position with the legs, walk your hands forward 1 step. So we want to think about hip hinge or leaning forward through the chest rather than letting the body round forward. So think about that nice tall lifted spine. So for some of us, that might mean you're already there. You're as far as you're going to go. But if you can walk forward 1 step and keep that nice uplifted spine, walk forward, pause there, close your eyes down. Toes are actively drawing back. Inner thighs are engaged. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. If it's available, you're going to walk forward just a little bit further. So take a step forward with the hands and then see, can you maintain that nice uplift through the front of the body? Pinky toes are drawing back. Feel your inner thighs. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then if you can from here, go to your edge, whatever that means to you. You might already be there. You might have been there 3 steps ago. But if you can walk yourself out to a depth that feels nice, soften your heart forward just a little bit, soften through the back of your neck, but those toes are still active, inner thighs are active and drawing back. Take 1 more breath. Nice, and then come up nice and slow. Grab the backs of your knees, pull those knees up and together, and now we're gonna start to find our way down to the ground. So curl your tailbone under, and then if you had a day where you just want that little extra bit of control, you're going to control it all the way down. But if you've had one of those days where you're like, I just need to be gentle, come down in whatever way works best for you. But we're going to come down onto the back, and then once you're there, pause for a moment. Make sure everything feels like it's nicely arranged. Make sure your hair is in a good position, your clothes are in a good position. And we're gonna come into a little bridge here. So feet kind of close to the butt, about hip width distance apart. Hands down alongside the hips. We're gonna take some mini bridges and gradually work our way up. So when you feel ready, inhale, curl the tailbone up just slightly so you could maybe slide one hand under your butt and then release it back down. Inhale and lift up. Now come up about 2 hands high. Exhale and lower down. Inhale and lift up, maybe about 3 hands high. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift up, now going about 4 hands high. So coming a little bit higher, you might feel the backs of your legs fire up at this point. Exhale and lower down. And then one more time, inhale, lift up just as high as feels comfortable. Exhale to lower down. And then once your hips touch down, pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Hold on to your right knee, set your left foot down, left knee in a bent position. Take the right knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Take your right knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to switch our hand hold. So hold on to the back of the thigh, make a little basket weave, and take a couple of gentle kicks of that leg up and down. Nice. And now add on to that kick. So as you kick the foot up, flex the foot, point the foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Reach your foot up, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. One more just like that. Reach the foot up, flex the foot, point the foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Hug your knee into your chest a little bit closer now. Slide your left leg nice and long. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. When you feel ready, slide the left knee in. So you might release your hand, hold a little bit on that right leg to pull the left knee into the chest. Give a light little squeeze. And then hold on to your left knee, set your right foot down. Keep that right knee in a bent position. Draw the left knee in circles, go in one direction. Draw the left knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then grab hold of the back of the thigh, take a couple of kicks of that leg up and down. And then we'll add on from there. So as you lift your heel up to the sky, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Reach your heel up, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. And do that one more time. Foot up to the sky, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Switch your grip, hold on to your left knee, slide your right leg nice and long, and then come back to your breath. Nice, gentle inhale. Nice, slow exhale. One more breath. And then we're going to set the left knee down in a bent position and bring that right leg across. So start by finding a figure 4 shape and then right hand to the inner thigh. And you're just going to gently press into the inner thigh like you're pushing your knee down. Pause there for a moment and notice. So you might feel a little stretch in the inner thigh and the groin. You might feel it up towards that hip flexor point, or you might feel sensation in the outer edge of your hip and the side of your glute. So just take a moment here just to notice where in your body do you feel sensation. And then you might be super happy here. And if you are, stay here and do the work here. If it feels good, but you want a little bit more sensation, release your hand from the inner thigh, lift your left leg up, and then see if you can thread your hands through. Maybe grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, and then draw it in just enough so that you feel a little extra sensation in the place where you might have been feeling it. And it might change slightly if you're feeling it in the inner thigh and groin area with that relaxed position of the knee. You might feel a little bit more in the outer edge of your hip, but just take a moment to notice. Great, and then soften that up just a little bit and wobble your figure 4 a little side to side. One more little rock side to side. And then we're going to release that position. Step your right foot off, pause for a moment. Notice how one side feels a little different than the other. And then when you feel good and ready, left leg across the right, get your figure four set up first. And then left hand to the inner thigh, gently push into the inner thigh. Pause for a moment and notice. And then it might be enough here. And one side might be totally different than the other. You might find plenty of work right here and choose to stay here. But if it feels good and you want more sensation, release your hand from the inner thigh, pick your right leg up, thread your hands through to a comfortable handhold, and then bring it in just to the point where you feel a gentle sensation. Beautiful. And then soften up your handhold just a little bit and wobble your figure four a little side to side. Nice. One more wobble of your figure four side to side, and then release your handhold, step your right foot down, step the left foot off, pause for a moment and notice. And then we're going to finish with a little supine twist. So when you feel ready, pull your right knee into your chest, left leg is going to go long again. And right away, take that right knee over and across the body. Maybe your right arm opens out nice and wide. Maybe your head turns to the right. Take 3 nice big breaths here. On your next inhale, pull your right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into meet, and then hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long, and take your supine twist to the other side. So left knee comes over to the right, left arm opens wide, head turns to the left if that feels good. Beautiful. And when you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into meet, give one last little squeeze, and then release your feet to the ground and ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to come to constructive rest with the feet wide and the knees dropped in towards each other? Do you want a little bit more action for the hips? Maybe take it into your reclined cobbler's pose. I prefer a little stack of pillows or a blanket around your thighs so that it's a nice supported position, but you choose your own adventure there. Or if you prefer that more traditional shape, walk your feet nice and long. Any other variation of the body that feels comfortable and allows you to find a little stillness. If you're in a cold climate, maybe put a blanket on or make sure you're feeling cozy. And then once you feel like you've got yourself situated, give a second. Let your body find a little stillness, work out all those little wiggles. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana as long as you like, or as long as your time and your body allows. But if you feel called to do so, gently start to reawaken your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe turn your head gently side to side. If your legs are in a bent knee position, maybe think about walking them nice and long down to the end of your mat. And then if it feels really great to do so, take it into a big good morning stretch. Reach your arms up and overhead, and then find that nice long reach through your fingers, through your toes. Take a nice full breath back into your body. Beautiful. And then when you feel ready, slowly and mindfully start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Come up in any way that feels right. Sukhasana with legs crossed, if that's comfortable, but any other variation might work as well. So you might choose to sit with your legs out in front of you, maybe a little bit wider. You might choose to sit a little side saddle, anything that feels good and allows you to just kind of sit up nice and tall. And then we are going to bring a little bit of vibration back into the arm. So just pick up your left arm, give it a good gentle shake. Awesome. And then set that arm down, palm facing up, and let it rest wherever's the most comfortable. Take it over to the other arm. Pick that arm up, give it a good shake. Nice. And then set that arm down, palm facing up, and then close your eyes down or soften your gaze. Take a nice deep breath in. Notice the palms of your hands. Notice your fingers. As you exhale, let your shoulders soften. On your next inhalation, gather your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your night and share with everyone you see. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.